Whether you're entering the wild world of Nintendo Switch for the very first time with the new OLED model, or maybe you're just making a smooth moves upgrade to a brighter, bigger screen, today we're giving you the must-have games to get for your new shiny system, ones that are going to actually shine on this screen with its more vivid, brighter colors, and games that are downright awesome to have and play. Joining me today is my good friend Gabe as we bring you the must-have titles for your new Nintendo Switch OLED.
Oh, to be a first-time Switch owner, not knowing the fact that we had a ginormous bezel with dull colors at one point. Dude, like, this feels like being born after the 90s, where, like, you're just born into one of the best times of all time, and you don't know the terribleness that happened before that.
It really is a case of the Switch was great until you see the OLED, because I've been playing with the OLED all weekend and it's impossible to go back. Like, I don't think the OLED is mandatory, but once you go OLED, you don't go back. And that's why we are going to give you the games that have shined the brightest for me, the ones that look impressive and awesome. And look, everybody's talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Mario Odyssey, so we're going to not mention those because you've seen them a million times. Gabe, we're going to dive into our list, but make sure to let us know in the comments down below any games you think will look awesome on Switch OLED or any top tier Switch games you recommend for brand new buyers. Before we get to our first game, my fine friends at Lexar have the special Amazon deal of the day, Monday, October 4th. They got a bunch of their products on sale, but most importantly, their play card for Nintendo Switch. It's my favorite memory card on the market. It's fast, it's huge, and it's reliable, and they're putting their 1 terabyte card, Gabe, on a very special sale. I can't tell you how much, but I know you all will be very happy with the discount, so make sure to click the link in the description down below and get ready for their extra special Amazon deal of the day this Monday.
Dude, for first-time Switch owners, you're going to need a place to put all of these games. Some of these games are not that small, so one of those play cards that you and I both have, we both like Lexar quite a bit.
Yes.
That works out beautifully.
Yes, indeed. Let's start with a game that really expanded with this iteration, Luigi's Mansion 3. Some may say that Luigi's Mansion 3 has the best graphics on Nintendo Switch ever, and it looks absolutely gorgeous on the OLED, Gabe. Those rooms, the spooky rooms, I feel like they got spookier, but also brighter. Your flashlight now just stands out and really illuminates these incredible environments in this single-player showpiece for what Nintendo can do with their art direction.
Halloween coming up. We are in the spooky month,
Yeah.
so that is all the more incentive to pick this up. Luigi's Mansion, like you said, one of those rare single-player I'm going to call the game cinematic. It's not cinematic, but still, like those story-driven single-player experiences that we don't see a ton of from Nintendo, at least not in this manner, because Odyssey doesn't have a huge story. There is some there, but it's not the focus. And I feel for Luigi's Mansion, it kind of, instead of being like just something that they have to throw on there, it does shine a little bit more, especially if you have that OLED screen, like you said.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game to play portably with the different levels, the different floors, the expanded environments within the hotel. Kind of not a mansion, but still sort of a mansion. It's not a super challenging game, but it's one that's charming the entire way through, and you'll just enjoy seeing all the different crafty puzzles and boss battles and unique locales that they come up with. That's the best part, the variety, and you get to see those looking better than ever with the OLED. It's a fantastic purchase, and it's been on sale as of late. A lot of these games actually are on good discounts as of late, so make sure you're checking your Amazons and your eShops and your Targets and your GameStops to see the best price. Gabe, let's move on to an indie title this time. We're going to go with Cuphead, a game that I feel has been a bit forgotten that it's on Switch, but one that is absolutely just stunning on this new Switch screen.
Dude, you gotta warn people that this game is difficult. It may have you break your new Switch OLED.
Please don't do that.
You get a little bit. Yeah, please be careful, dude. How many controllers have you broken in your life? I've only broken one.
Yeah, I think one, but a great way to mitigate that frustration, Gabe, is Cuphead allows co-op. And if you do bring in a second cup, you know, it's like Cheers, right? It just makes things a little bit happier, and it makes things a little more manageable. But the boss battles here are so satisfying, and that old-timey art style and aesthetic, it just looks great. It pops, and it pops so much more with the new self-lit pixels of the OLED screen. This game is one that is supposed to be expanding. We've been waiting for the new DLC. It hasn't come. Some whispers now say maybe it's turning into a full-blown sequel, but I'm really glad that the Switch gets to be a part of the Cuphead universe. There is a Netflix show as well, which you cannot watch on your Switch since we don't have Netflix yet, although that would look really good on the OLED.
Yeah, you already said it, but that art style, so beautiful, so colorful and vibrant already with that OLED. Chef's kiss, Zach. Chef's kiss.
Yes, speaking of chefs, that's kind of what they're working on. But masterful controls, masterful gameplay, and just memorable bosses. Speaking of memorable, what more memorable game is there than The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? This one, do we need to say more? I mean, it is the best game on the platform, many would argue, and it looks awesome. You know, flying over Hyrule here looks fantastic, and it is a very colorful game with a lot of environmental diversity, and one that has been touted as a good Switch OLED game, and I can confirm that yes, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild looks fantastic, and I fully expect Breath of the Wild 2 to look even better.
Yeah, we have to agree there. And Zach, for anyone that is getting their Switch experience for the first time with the OLED, why not replicate our first Switch experience, right? This was one of the best launch games ever, in my opinion. And you could just feel exactly what we felt on day one, opening up our Nintendo Switch, popping in that Zelda cartridge, or if you downloaded it, that's fine too, and having a grand old time discovering everything that this wonderful, wonderful world has in store for you.
Divine beasts, giant open world, climbing and getting frustrated as you fall and almost make it, but then figure out some tricks to kind of run up the side of mountains. Anyhow, it's really just, I'm jealous because you have Breath of the Wild like we had, and you have Mario Odyssey, and you have so many games. You have 5 years basically worth of Switch hits. But I am going to go back to that original year, Gabe, for our next pick, which is Snipperclips Cut It Out Together, a game that utilizes very simple graphics, but those colors, the pinks and the yellows and the teals, they pop on this screen, Gabe. I was setting up my Switch OLED in tabletop mode, and Snipperclips is perfect for that with its co-op play, and it looks just magical.
Dude, I don't want to be your friend if you can't play Snipperclips with me and we can't get through a couple of these worlds. This is a true test to relationships, not because it's very hard or anything, but communication is key, listening to each other and not getting frustrated. It's one of the best experiences I had on Switch while it launched with you, with Jake. And man, again, I just feel green with envy, Zach. Green with envy. There's no green in Snipperclips so much, but it's still really good. And the fact that people are gonna get to experience that for the first time in the coming weeks, I wish that I could be one of them. I truly do.
Yeah. Keep an eye on Gabe's dating profile. It says, "I will only date you if
I don't have a dating
if we can
profile.
cut it out
Come on,
together." There is also an expansion, so if you do enjoy Snipperclips, there's a lot of content there. It's just a remarkably fun time. So glad Nintendo helped bring that one to the finish line at the launch of Switch. A game that's much more recent, Gabe, though, is going to be Dragon Quest XI-S. This is kind of the meaty RPG of the list, and one that utilizes a cel-shaded-ish art style and just painterly beautiful in the worlds that they create there over at Squeenix, and I think it is another fantastic showpiece for not only the Switch OLED, but really any Switch. But again, it just looks that much better given what we got on this new screen.
If we're honest, any number of JRPGs will be perfect for you on the go with this, and they're all gonna look brighter just like this one is, but this one does have that vibrancy that a lot of them don't seem to have, and this one just does look and run better than other things, and I'm sorry because I know people really like this. Like Xenoblade Chronicles looks like way too blurry for me when I'm playing handheld, so that's why I feel that Dragon Quest XI-S is something that will help you get the most out of your experiences with JRPGs if you do want them to look quite good, because it does look quite good on Switch.
Yeah, and it's not my pick in terms of gameplay style, but I will note that Octopath Traveler looks wonderful. That pixel stuff that they do over there is just fantastic, and I'm sure Triangle Strategy is going to do it all over again next March, so keep an eye on that one. Some of the pixel stuff really does impress. Gabe, let's go to the indie scene once more. A lot of people are recommending Hades on the OLED, and I do agree. Hades, major Game of the Year winner from last year, phenomenal game, but I want to give love to Ori and the Will of the Wisps, a game that we didn't think would make it to Switch, but it did, and this one it's mesmerizing.
Dude, I was gonna say, like, if you're like just itching to play Metroid, but unfortunately the OLED comes out the same day as Metroid. And the reason I bring that up is because Ori is a Metroidvania. Yeah. It's a really good one, filled with some good challenge, filled with some upgradable combat that gets kind of deep and interesting. The story is really fun, and the characters are oh so cute and beautiful. I love this game so much.
I was going to refer to it as a Cryovania because it does get emotional, but it is fantastic. There's 2 Oris on the system, but we felt like Will of the Wisps explores a bit more, color palette wise, and just is a crisper game. They had years to work on this one, and some of the different abilities that Ori gains, and just some of the ways. I especially love digging through the sand. It just looks wonderful on the Switch OLED screen, and a phenomenal package. Again, super great gameplay, and something that I feel is one of the best indies across any platform of the last decade or so. This Ori franchise.
It's an amazing franchise. That in particular is an amazing game, and I would recommend them outside of the OLED, but like you said, it does like pop here a little bit more, but I think these are just must plays in general.
Yeah, there's just some moments. I mean, Breath of the Wild, you see them in terms of when you gaze out into the horizon, and you'll notice in Luigi's Mansion when you enter a really intricate room. Ori has those moments of kind of the camera pans out and you can get a lot of the scene, and there's just different layers to the environment and glow, and it looks fantastic. Another one that really is going to look fantastic is Monster Hunter Rise. That is a new game, 2021 release. Back in March, Capcom put out a dedicated Switch Monster Hunter and really brought one of the best Monster Hunters we've seen. They just announced Sunbreak, a big expansion for 2022, but even the original game, Gabe, those monsters look mighty on the OLED screen.
You mentioned that Luigi's Mansion 3 is probably the best looking game on Switch. This is like right up there to me. Like those two are like 1A and 1B as far as visuals on our little favorite hybrid platform ever. Part of probably right now at least one of the only hybrid platforms ever.
The only portable platform out there at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you, Steve, to carry on up. But yes, Monster Hunter Rise is great, and I've actually been considering jumping back into this because of said big expansion coming, and I haven't played this since I beat the game at launch, so it might be a good time for me to try to go slay some more beasts as well.
Yeah, we've made note before, but Monster Hunter Rise does an exceptional job at onboarding. Monster Hunter franchise in the past has been viewed as like, very difficult to get into and complicated, but they do a really excellent job at making it deep enough for hardcore players, but also welcoming enough for new players. So even if you're not familiar, even if you think it looks complicated, it's really not. It boils down to get on your dog, ride out there, and slash and bash those big monsters, and you'll impress yourself with how well you can take down some of these giant foes as you move your way towards the harder star ranking missions. And they've supported the game excellently with DLC. Even outside of Sunbreak, there is tons of free content that has come to that game as they updated a lot more than our final pick, but it is getting a big update. Thank goodness. Animal Crossing New Horizons is the just wonderkind, sort of casual, relaxed, chill game of the list. And let me tell you, as a major Animal Crossing fan, it makes my island gain an extra star ranking just by being on the Switch OLED screen. It really does look so nice, and with Brewster and the Roost and a whole direct coming, I feel like AC is going to have a strong resurgence this holiday season.
I know that this is kind of crazy, but hey, maybe you just want another island, because I know that's something that people I know that's something people do. Like, hey, you really want to have yourself another island, you have to get an entirely new Switch to do it. I think that
perfect scenario.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about Animal Crossing, but I do know that that's something that you very, very dedicated fans are into, buying multiple consoles to have more than one island.
Thousands of hours, multiple consoles. And look, as a gamer of all genres, I'm a connoisseur of everything here. I was skeptical of Animal Crossing until I dove headfirst in, and I think it is a very nice game that feels comfortable, feels familiar, and does provide sort of this one more thing you want to do notion, especially early on when you're trying to build all the buildings and you're trying to decorate just one more section. And now there's so many items and so many events, and we're about to have my favorite yet, which is bringing in Brewster and his cafe of coffee and cocoa. The game is about to have an upsurge, and so why not grab it while the going is good? I mean, 40 million people can't be wrong, right, Gabe?
Well, they can be. I'm not saying they are in this instance, but I'm saying there's some very, very popular stuff that I think isn't so good. So.
Well, all of these games, I can assure you, are very good. From Luigi's Mansion 3 to The King of the Castle, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Dragon Quest 11S, Snipperclips, Cuphead, Monster Hunter Rise, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and then Animal Crossing New Horizons. These are our must-have titles for your new Nintendo Switch OLED. Obviously, there's other great games like Smash Bros. Ultimate. We already mentioned Mario Kart 8. Bowser's Fury would look beautiful, but these are the ones that stood out to us, and games that cover a wide variety of styles and taste, and really will help build out and flesh out your initial Switch library. But let us know if you got any other games you really want to see on OLED or think would shine or a new player should buy. Give us a comment in that comment section down below. Make sure to check out Lexar's deal of the day with a link in the description. Hit that like button if you had fun with us today. And Gabe, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
You are very welcome. I love all of you with the brightest colors of an OLED screen. So stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.